Good. Whoa. Good morning. Clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. Anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. We are excited to be here. Andrew, welcome. Kate, wow, you're up. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're mixing it up, going a little bit early, see if we can catch some East Coasters. Got a lot of West Coasters I see coming in too, though. Excellent. Hope I didn't disturb your meditation time. Wanted to answer some questions. Remember this Friday, that's all we're going to have. I see Team Dave Meltzer is going to pin up where to register for Friday's training. Samir, welcome. There we go. It's very easy to register for free. BYOQ, bring your own questions. I'll bring the answers. Let's get a little practice in this morning. Go ahead, load me up with some questions. We'll get going. Welcome, 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 everyone, as we are moving and grooving. What does your wind down routine look like? Well, first of all, just in case you don't know what a wind down routine is, a wind down routine, sorry about that. Here we go. A wind down routine is what I use to make sure that I wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. And so I live my life, physical, mental, spiritual, everything in the pursuit of my potential. And then I allow myself to wind down mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Wind down. Good morning, Colleen. Welcome. Waking up early like Kate. That's awesome. My favorite time is between 4 and 9. And it just makes it happen for me. It's less interference. But my wind down routine is no exercise, no alcohol, no arguments, no negative energy, nothing that's going to disturb the connection between me and the most powerful source of energy, light and love. So no emails. I completely, an hour and a half before, have 9 o'clock's the wind down routine. I just put myself into a very positive place and work on clearing any connection. And that wind down routine allows me to either pass out at 9:05, but for sure before 11. And sometimes I just haven't burnt enough physical energy, so I will make it too close to 11, but a lot of times pass out in 5 minutes, as many people have witnessed, even when I'm standing up at an airport, as I know some of you have. Good morning, good morning. Wake up, everybody. Good morning. This is great. Let's jump on some more questions. Let's make it happen here. If you could go back and ask Napoleon Hill one question, what would it be? I'd ask him what the greatest lesson he learned was from all those people that he interviewed. I want to know what the most important lesson he is. And I bet he'd say rule number 6, knowing Napoleon Hill, don't take yourself so seriously. Remember rule number 6, do not take yourself so seriously. Keep the questions coming. On Friday, I will have my free training. Everybody register for free training. It's free, and it's me for you. Here we go. BYOQ on Friday. Bring your own questions. I got the answers just like right now. Hey, David, how do we stop comparing our life to others? You know, it's so important to vote for what you want in your life. If you vote for what you want in your life, you'll get what you want in your life. If you start focusing on other people, you'll never have enough. You'll live in a world of not enough or just enough, I promise you. When we're looking, if we're counting other people's money, if we're looking at other people's relationships, that's what you're going to get. I just have to have a shout out to my lovely friend back east, Karen. Welcome, 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 my dear. I hope your unbelievable dance studios are doing well during this period of time, outside dancing or some creative thing that you're doing. You are one of my most missed friends. Good morning to you. Welcome. Let's jump back onto the questions. What is your favorite word in English and why? Thank you. Oh, that's 2 words. So thanks, because thanks gives us perspective. If we're thankful for everything, you will find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything, including what sucks. I had somebody wanted me to clarify when I said, let's find the light, the love, and the lessons in the suck. There's suck in everything. He felt that there's too much focus on the suck. Exactly what I want to say is, if you feel there's too much focus on the suck, then you have to find the light, the love, and the lessons in what's sucking right now for you. Everyone has certain things that suck, but not if you find the light, the love, and the lessons in them. And that's what I want you to do. Be kind to your future self, do good deeds. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everybody. How to better time management. Please, in the notes too, let me know if you like this time. I think I'm going to do this time a couple times a week. I'm up anyway, Just make a quick rearrangement of my research time is normally 5:30, but I think 5:30 works well. How to better time management. Be a student of your calendar. The best time management tips that I have are student your calendar and two, do it now. Study means to pay attention to and give intention to the coincidences you want with what you have planned, what you don't have planned, and of course, your sleep. And so make sure that you do that. And then the second thing is do it now. Ask yourself, can I do it now? And if you can do it now, do it now. Why? Because 100% of the things you do now get done. And the difference between people that are successful and those who are not, people who are successful get things done. So do it now. Be a student of your calendar, study, pay attention to and give intention to the things you have planned, the things you don't have planned, and your sleep. And most importantly, use the lenses in life that you should use on your calendar. One, a lens of productivity. How productive can you be? Meaning, how much value are you providing to others? How much service are you providing to others? Accessibility, how accessible are you to others? And how are you accessing what you want? The biggest problem out there is people are not asking. You cannot out ask the universe. You cannot out ask yourself. You are not going to get unless you ask. So ask, 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 ask. That comes with the lens of accessibility. And then finally, we've discussed it already, the lens of gratitude. If you can look at what you have planned, what you don't have planned in your sleep with a lens of light, love, and lessons, man, you are on your way. Best two tips there for time management. Join me Friday. I got many, many more. You bring the questions, I'll bring the answers. Register david@dmeltzer.com. Join my text community if you haven't already. 949-298-2905. Text me there. We'll be texting back and forth. You can get my free book by texting me or emailing me. Free exercises and guides, the replays to past trainings, all for free. So don't worry about it. Here we go. Do you encounter anxiety? How do you manage it in the moment? Absolutely. I'm practicing ending fear. That's one of my major journeys in life, to stop, drop, and roll. There's 4 steps to practice ending fear. I am trying to make the time differential between the anxiety and peace. That's my goal, is to shorten that amount of time from when I go from peace to anxiety back to peace. And so I do that. Andres turned 30 today. Happy birthday. I'll get to that advice next. Anyway, 4 steps into practicing ending fear or anxiety. 1, identify when you're in that unconscious, when you're in that fear-based consciousness. You got to identify it first. A lot of people aren't even aware they're in the need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, whatever it may be. So number 1, identify it. 2, when you identify it, stop and ask yourself, why? Why do I feel this way? 3, drop, meaning breathe. I use the 6 steps of Buddha. I call this whole practice ferocious Buddha. Be a ferocious Buddha, because you have to be ferocious, 1, to identify and stop. And then you got to be a Buddha to drop and breathe, and then roll in the right trajectory. That's where taking inventory of your values every day, knowing what, that's right, what you want. Not why you want it. The why will come, but you need to know what you want. People use why as an excuse. Don't use why as an excuse. Find the what. How can I overcome exam anxiety? Practice, right? You got to practice. Take an exam, study hard. If I asked you, your test would be to clap your hands, you would have no anxiety. Why? Because you're 100% prepared. So the closer you can become to 100% preparation reduces anxiety. It also helps you practice ending fear as well. 30-year-old advice, by the way. Happy birthday, Andres. The 30-year-old advice I have for you is the same I'd have for you at 20, the same I'll have for you at 40, 50, like me, 60, etc. What is it? I'm going to tell you, most importantly, ask for help. Be radically humble. Write those 2 words to remind you: radical humility. You need to ask for help. You don't know what you don't know at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70. The difference is, the more that goes on, the more we start realizing what we don't know. That's all. We actually utilize that perspective and feel as if we know less, because we actually start realizing that we don't know what we don't know, and we start being more interested than interesting, so that we can learn more and more, even though there's an infinity amount of data points in order to learn. But we want to learn the most that we can, because life is about lessons, and the lessons will keep on coming until we learn them. So let's keep going on these questions. Remember, Friday, go ahead. If you haven't registered, free training is always there. The replays are always there. So please, david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Just text me, join that community, or email me. I will personally, and don't test me and say, oh, is this your interns or whatever. It's not. I'll send you a voicemail back if you do. But it is me. It just, if it takes more time than you like, know that it's me. Just like your action of saying thank you for 30 days, is there anything you can start with for a week? You can start whatever you want for a week, lower the bar, whatever habit you want. So what I would do is start by taking inventory of your values for a week. Take inventory of your values for a week. Personal values. What are my personal values today? What are my experiential values today? What are my giving values today? What are my receiving values today? All four of those, and they don't have to be weighted equally. You can weight them and prioritize them according to what you want. And also, don't be afraid of being a hypocrite. Don't be afraid of changing your mind. That just means you're accelerating, growing, learning. So many people are afraid to say they changed their mind, that they learned something. It's just the opposite. You should be excited to tell people the dummy tax that you've paid so they don't have to pay it. Let me repeat that. You should tell people the dummy tax that you've paid so that you don't have to pay it. Thank you so much, White Boy 4. Thank you. Please call me directly. Text me 949-298-2905 because I'd love to be educated. Thank you. All right. Very good. Love to understand why you feel that way. When people call you names or attack you, they're just defining themselves as someone who calls names and attacks. Just remember that. So please help them, understand them, pray for their happiness. We all can unify and learn from each other. And I have paid so much dummy tax. I don't know what I don't know. And love the input. So thank you, everyone. Here we go. Have you ever become unbalanced with activity you don't get paid for? And is that okay? Yeah, of course, but I don't call it unbalanced, right? I have a focus and a priority to what I do. And so in that respect, I'm not unbalanced because I've prepared for that type of activity I don't get paid for. 90% of today is on personal values, and those personal values include spending, turning and going off the grid and spending an entire day with my family. And so, that is absolutely okay. Whatever your values are, what's not okay is not identifying your values. That's not okay. So for me, understanding and taking inventory of my values for a few minutes a day, personal, experiential, giving and receiving, weighting them according to what I want, voting for what I want. I saw someone ask that, and then electing that into my life. Remember, the mathematical equation of luck is what you pay attention to and give intention to creates the coincidences that we want. Those coincidences are what other people feel is luck. Joey Storzinger, welcome, my friend. I should come in here more early. I got all my East Coast friends joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What are some tips to saving money? Predetermine the savings by percentage. So that way you will always be budgeting towards what you're going to keep. I would predetermine, I always do, no matter, for every dollar, 10 cents are going into savings. For every $100, $10, right? Do it by percentage, predetermine it, at least for a year, and then reassess it after the year. But don't waver. You do want to have reassessment periods because things change and you may be able to give more or maybe less. But either way, take your emotion out of giving. You're just going to have so much to give every month, and you can even predetermine that distribution from your family to those more associate, to the local, to state, to country, to world. It doesn't matter. Predeterminate is the key. Here we go too. Let's get a few more questions. Remember, Friday, we're doing all these questions. That's all training is BYOQ. You bring these questions, I bring the answers. We'll bring value, and it's free. So all I got to do is register by emailing me, david@dmeltzer.com, or texting me, 949-298-2905. You can get all the replays of all the old trainings. You can download them on the playbook. It was yesterday. And anything that you want, you can get there. My books, my exercises, guides, and replays. I'm enjoying the work. I do, but I'm just volunteering, so it's unpaid. But I do want to make money too. Then ask. right? Go ahead, ask those people that you're working with, even as activity you don't get paid for. Do you know anybody that can help me? I'm looking for a paid position. Ask people in person, ask them on the phone, ask them via email, and ask them as you did here, social media. So know what skills, knowledge, and desire that you have. See how it's aligned with what available things there are today, or what stable things there are, or maybe something in the future. And it won't happen unless you ask, which is the 30-year-old birthday advice. How can I overcome the fear of worrying about the opinion of others? Practice it, right? Remember, when other people's opinion, if you vote for what other people want for you, you're going to end up getting what they want for you, and you're going to end up resenting them. Remember that. So people will laugh at you, scoff at you, make fun of you. Then they will applaud you. All right, let's see if we can go live with my friend Sarah. She's an extraordinary entrepreneur. Looking for her in here, Jake. I do not see. There she is. She's here. I do see. All right. Good morning, everyone. We got a special guest, even early in the morning. You know, you can always rely on to go live with you early in the morning is a farmer.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, David. How are you?
Fantastic. I was just saying, you know, who you can always rely starting early in the morning for you is a farmer.
Yeah, you know what? I've been up for a while, so the only difference is I had to make myself like camera ready this morning. Usually I'm in the field, and the pumpkins don't care what I look
That's
like.
not the blouse you. That's not the blouse you wear in the fields.
Yeah, not usually, not usually. But hey, you know sometimes farmers dress up too.
Yeah, well, you look wonderful. So thank you for joining me. I am your whole story, your whole being. I know, number one, you're launching your new book on the 25th, I believe.
Yes.
It's a
Yep.
great date, great
Yep.
date. And
Here
but
it is, the growing season.
yeah, and well, that's to me, life is the growing season, and
Yes.
you and what you're doing is so indicative of what people personally could do to themselves, right? I always say, I'm planting seeds under trees that I'll never sit under. You have re-engineered, you know, one of the more challenging businesses in America. I was just in Indiana a couple days ago. My daughter goes to IU, and so,
Oh wow,
and I lived there
fantastic.
too for a little
You,
while.
you could have stopped by. I
I
could have taken you on a farm tour. We could have done this whole live
I'm coming.
interview in the pumpkin field or the one of the watermelon fields.
I am coming back, and I am going to visit you and your farm. Absolutely. Now, your nickname is something like the pumpkin. What's your nickname?
So I was coined America's Pumpkin Queen by the New York Times, and it kind of stuck. So
Kind of stuff.
so my company actually we grow fresh fruits and vegetables in 7 different states now, and primarily melons, cantaloupes, watermelons. We grow some veg items as well, but we happen to be, you know, the largest pumpkin farm in America. So, and if we're not the largest, I don't know anybody that grows or definitely not sells more pumpkins than Fry Farms. So that's kind of the thing that our company is known for, even though it's a small part of what we do. But pumpkins happen to be like, that's my favorite product. It's my favorite time of year. It's my favorite product. Pumpkins make people happy. So, you know, it's.
Maybe I'll come for Halloween. That would be even fun.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I
That'd
won't
be
lie though. By the time Halloween, it's kind of like I feel like what Santa Claus is to Christmas, I am to Halloween. So when the pumpkins get harvested, I'm over it. I'm out.
That is so awesome. Well, you have a much heavier load to deliver all of those pumpkins the night before Halloween. That's amazing that you can do that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
but one of the things that you do, and I always tell people, you know, and especially this time of uncertainty we're in, is there's always opportunity. The margins of millionaires are made where other people aren't looking. So if we look to see what is doing well, then we can align the skills, the knowledge, and the desire that we have to those things that are doing well. And you've been able to take what other farmers have wasted for years and create a fantastic business out of that as well.
Yeah.
The top, is it Samoa Watermelon? Is that the
I
juice?
actually have it here with me this morning. It's Samoa Watermelon juice, and I know you're a big sports fan, so I had to have this like sitting here because it's actually made from the melons that would have otherwise went to waste in our fields. But watermelon juice has some really incredible sport recovery properties. So with the L-citrulline, it has, it's packed with L-citrulline, it's packed with lycopene. And I actually got the inspiration in Savannah, Georgia, when the National Watermelon Promotion Board was actually talking about all of the research that they had done with athletes, and they were trying to figure out how do we get melons to football players. And I just had visions of these football players trying to eat watermelon, with their gear on and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I know it's fantastic, right? But there has to be an easier way, to deliver the watermelon to athletes. And so, hence the Sama brand was born, and we started using and juicing the melons. Not only do we grow the melons, but we actually juice them on the farm for the Samoa Watermelon juice. So we do it all in one spot. And it also helps us because we're able to use more of our crop. And so that's really kind of what we do throughout our whole entire organization. And that is, how can we use more of what we grow, return more profits back to the farm, and create clean, simple, delicious products, for the world to enjoy.
Which you have done. And you may not be able to say this, but I can, because I know that your watermelon juice actually hydrates better than Gatorade.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
And a lot of people, they buy into marketing these days and how things are spent millions and millions of dollars on marketing with products that actually aren't in the same league as other products when it comes to sports fitness. And, the main thing is, hydration is great for professional athletes, but it's really important for the average athlete, meaning the weekend warriors, the people that take walks every day, especially now it's really heating up around the country. So I really encourage everyone to try Sama, because you will feel the difference when you're hydrated. You're 80% or so water. And so I'm very conscientious about the water that we put into our bodies, and the effect that it has. And I'm not just talking nutrition wise or hydration. I also, as a conductor of energy, understand the importance of water in some of the properties of watermelon, and also sugar wise, right? The diet side of, having a healthy drink of watermelon, you get far more natural and less sugar,
right?
Which, is, these poor kids are sucking down a lot of high sugar drinks.
There's no question.
It's an awesome product. Really is. But even greater than that was the ingenuity of, and I want the lesson to be learned, that if we pay attention to something and then give it our intention, these extraordinary things are created, right? And that's what you were able to do. Now, you and I have something in common, but you're far more superior in this space. Is it true that you're the youngest of 21 children?
It is true. It is
21 children, all the same parents?
No. So for most of my life, I avoided that question. So when people would say, "Oh, so how many brothers and sisters do you have?" I would say I have 4 older brothers in the business with me, which technically is true. So I grew up here where I'm at today in Southern Illinois on the family farm. And I grew up in the house with my 4 older brothers from my parents. Each of my parents were married before. My mother had 2, my father had 13. They got together, had 6, 1 died. So the 5 of us grew up right here on this hill. So for most of my life, when I was asked that question, I would answer, I have 4 older brothers in the business, because if I said, technically I'm the youngest of 21, it would lead to, like, what do you mean you're the youngest of 21? How does that even work? So
I would feel so bad for your mom.
Yeah, right. Well,
uh-oh. I'll get you back. Oh no. Lesson for the day, patience. I was trying to get her back, and I apologize to Sarah. Bring her back. We got time. Raise those hands if you want Sarah back. How amazing is she and her company, Frey Farms? So many. We're going to get her back. Sarah, come back on, please, if you're watching me. I apologize, but we have to deal with the internet. Not there she is. All right. We're going to bring Sarah back. I know you guys want to finish this. So interesting. I'm blown away.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I
No.
don't know what happened. I'm on the farm. It's like, we don't have the best cell service or Wi-Fi out here. So, but yeah, so definitely it was interesting growing up with all of those older brothers here. We grew up, as you'll learn in the growing season. Have you had a chance to preview the book? Did you?
Yeah, I have. And oh my gosh. So in the book, by the way, so what was your one inspiration and two your favorite lesson?
My favorite lesson would probably be overcoming fear. And so during the course, I wrote this book because I shared very little about myself and my story throughout my career. Nobody really wants to, when you're building a career and you're trying to get ahead, you're bringing yourself up out of rural poverty. Number one, I was busy. I didn't want to stop and take the time to explain to people, where I came from, why I was doing what I was doing or how I did it. But then as I got a little bit older, I noticed how stories that I would tell people could like literally affect their lives, that they would take an action based on, the story that I told them or the inspiration they were given. So I wrote The Growing Season, which was an incredibly painful process for me to open up because it's a memoir. It's not really a business book, right? There's business in it, but it's a pretty emotional memoir and a very personal story. So I wrote it really with the intention that if I deliver this to the world, more people will take action and change their lives. But there was always this sort of nagging question, like, what is the higher purpose? Like, come on, Sarah, like, what's the higher purpose? And I had this voice inside of me, and I could never really, that told me to keep writing, but I could never articulate for me personally what that higher purpose was in writing the book. So when the country shut down, back in March, I had just really finished and delivered the final manuscript, and we were going through our last round of edits, and it was done. And as that time kind of went by, and I saw, so many challenges in my business and in my life, the whole world has faced all of these incredible challenges. But one thing that that really we all sort of felt was isolation, fear, uncertainty. There was a moment when we all felt that. And then it just dawned on me one day. I'm like, this is it. This was the higher purpose. This is what drove me to this moment. And then I made peace with, okay, now the book, this is no longer my story. It belongs to the world. And this is why I'm so excited to share it, in just a few short days. It's available for pre-order now. But I think overcoming fear is probably the biggest lesson in the book, and what you do with that, and how when you learn to take that feeling that you have in the moments right after you overcome your greatest fear, no matter what it was. For me, as a little girl, it was picking up this nasty big snapping turtle and having to throw it in the back of the truck as my father stood over me and said, "You pick up that snapping turtle." I mean, the thing was this huge. I mean, it was huge, right? I mean, it was a big turtle. Okay, I'm not exaggerating when I say it was the size of a trash can lid. And then, there were, also other things that, much more difficult things in my life that I had to overcome, and I had to. Whether it was abuse or whatever, I had to face those fears, and I had to stand up to them. But what I remember from each one of those moments is how I felt after I overcame, in the moments right after I stood up or took a stand and faced my fears, how I felt inside. And so in my adult life, I've always been trying to replicate that feeling, that feeling like I did that, because you have this release when you overcome fear. So for me, with everything going on in the country right now, I think we all need to like, okay, we have to face these fears. We have to face these fears of uncertainty. We have to, where, people are ultimately questioning what they're doing for a living, where their careers are leading. There's a lot of fear and uncertainty right now. And I think there are a lot of great lessons in the book about overcoming fear. And that seems to be sort of the central theme throughout the growing season.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting because I talk about practice ending fear, right? Rather than overcoming it, because fear is present in us, in our ego. And as you said, the I did it feeling, I call that an expression of genius. So when, things, the source of all light, love, and lessons comes through us, that's where we feel this expression. We're expressing that creativity, that genius that is in all of us, the light, the love, and the lessons, this power that's even unfathomable, in my opinion, which I want to express and bring out in others. And that's what I kind of felt in your book, the desire or intent to bring out other people's light, to encourage them to really feel like you have all the stories that were in there. Me too, and most people, they may not share it, but all have suffered from some sort of abuse.
Right.
And that's just life.
Yeah.
That happens. And it's things that I didn't even remember until I got older. I had blacked out some of the things that happened to me, but there's all this light in me. And
Yeah.
that's what your book is. That's the growing, the expansion, the
Yeah.
acceleration, and everyone has it within them. And so I wanted to encourage everyone to read the book. I wanted you as an entrepreneur, of course, to be elevated. More people should be aware of your extraordinary creativity. You are an expression of genius. And August 25th, you can pre-buy it right now. Go anywhere, get the growing season. You will love it. And Sarah, I'm coming to visit you next time I come to Indiana. How
I,
how
I'm
how far
holding
from
you to
Bloomington?
that.
How
I'm
far
holding
from
you to that.
Bloomington? How far
Not,
from Bloomington is Orchard?
not far. Bloomington, Illinois. Bloomington, Illinois is only about 2 hours from here.
No, Indiana. I'm in
Oh,
Indiana.
Bloomington, Indiana, 2 hours from the farm in Indiana. So
There,
I'm close. You tell me when you get out. We're gonna go do some farm touring.
you got
Hey,
it. I would love
David,
it,
do you
and
want to see
I
the hill? I'm
adore you.
I'm gonna take you
Yeah,
outside.
let's
I'm
see
gonna
it.
take you outside and show you the hill.
Yeah,
So if you read the
there
book
we
and you read
go.
about the hill, I'm gonna take you out and
Yeah,
show. I
it's
want to
like
show
Rob
you.
Angel's aardvark.
I'm gonna show you what it looks like out here.
Oh wow.
So this is my backyard. I want to share it with your viewers. So when you talk about isolation, it's like I spent
Oh no. Isolation beyond the internet. That's what happens when we got outside. I'm going to be patient this time, but you got to check out the growing season. Isn't she amazing? Come on, you got to, Andrew, Kate. Is she amazing? Is that place amazing? The story is amazing. Um, Probably back in. I was just bragging about you while you're gone, so don't worry.
oh, I lost you right there. Another poor signal. But
That's okay.
anyway,
Well,
come
thank you.
visit me.
Please, let's do this again. I want to have you on my podcast as well.
Yeah,
So please,
awesome.
Jake will reach out and anything I can do. And I look forward to meeting you in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to ship you some watermelon juice too. For being
Awesome.
such a
Buy the
cool
growing
host.
season today. Get your pre-order. August 25th, it's going to launch. It'll be a great story to inspire you to express your genius as we are witness to one of my new friends, Sarah Frey for Frey Farms. Thank you so much.
Bye bye. Take care. Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
You too. All right. Wow. Every time I get a feeling someone's going to be incredible. And yes, she was incredible. Absolutely. All of you, please. It's amazing. She's amazing. Well, anyway, let me take one more question. Um, and remember, Friday, BYOQ, you bring the questions, I'll bring the answers. 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. The replays are on the playbook on YouTube. Grab them there. My books are free. Exercise guides are free. Just reach out and ask. And we will get towards these. There's tons of great questions. Bring them every day too. We'll answer this one. How do you stay motivated all the time? I don't. I lessen the time that I lessen the time that I get in my own way of interfering or creating corrosion to that unbelievable source of power, light, and love. What does that mean? Motivation gets you up and gets you back up. It gets you started and gets you started. So I'm not motivated all the time. But what I use is when I'm not feeling at my highest frequency, into that neutrality of center and peace, into love, light, and lessons, into happiness, then I go ahead, I get motivated to get me up. I transition that to inspiration. Inspiration will get me there. And if I'm not inspired, I use motivation to get me re-inspired. But I also shorten the amount of time that I'm not inspired. So number one, I have to be aware of why I'm not inspired. I have to stop, drop, and roll. Then I have to also use motivation to get me back into inspiration. And I'm constantly trying to, instead of spending years like some people that are uninspired, months uninspired, weeks uninspired, minutes uninspired, I try to keep it to moments. Very quick process, and it takes a lot of practice. I've been on that specific journey for 14 years. I'm on XM Sirius Sports Show called The Win Daily. It's on Saturdays on XM. I am Coach's Corner with Jason Mizrahi, and you got to check it out, Win Daily. Go ahead, windaily.com, and it's a show that I'm on, and would love for you guys to join me there. Got a lot of great content just to try to keep people to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. Most importantly, join me Fridays. It's free, 949-298-2905. Email me directly, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com. Reach out to me. Don't be afraid. Overcome that fear. Practice ending fear. Be like Sarah. She's amazing. Thank you, everybody. Most importantly, we'll see you tomorrow, but be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I'll see you tomorrow, or definitely on Friday. Be kind to yourself, and do good deeds. Take care.